What are some of your most favorite music videos that you did? I'm sure they were all favorite, but like if like the most memorable music videos. Don't think too long. We just have like 20 minutes on YouTube.
Memorable. Oh God.
Have you ever had a really bad audition in your life? So what happened to your...
Anyway, basically for that one, my mistake was going in with Jane.
Your friend? Jane, if you're watching.
She's so good, I remember. And then like 2 weeks later, they rang me and we were like, you got it. I was like, oh.
Okay, so the moral of the story is do bring Jane Suda to your auditions. No, because you got the job. Wait, can I understand the question first?
I stand tall, but the longer I stand, the shorter I become. Can I tell you? A candle! A candle. Okay. Jesus Christ!
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Look here, we have Paula Taylor, one of my good friends here in Thailand. And you will know who she is. And if you don't know who she is, I don't know what to say at this point because this famous actress here has done everything, but she's here today to interview. And we are here at jeong Grill at Sukhumvit 61 to try out their Korean barbecue. So I hope you're ready to eat, Paula. Let's go.
Always.
All right, Paula, welcome to my channel.
Hi.
So we were just talking about this whole like YouTube phenomenon of like how Nana was telling you to start a YouTube channel.
And you do it, babe. So much work.
It is. It's a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie. For all of you out there, let me tell you, I didn't just show up here today and just like, I did wing it kind of. We did kind of wing it.
We did wing it.
But there's a lot of preparation that becomes like
my God.
behind it.
Anyway, I admire you that you can do it, babe, because I still haven't done it. Everyone's like, when are you doing it? I'm like, when someone does it for me.
No, exactly. Like when you don't have to do your own editing and like all the other stuff, and just make me look good and pretty. But okay, that leads me to like one of my questions with you. It's because the reason why I asked you was because I feel like you have a very interesting transition into like the entertainment industry. You are mixed, right? You're half Australian and half Thai. But you, when you first started to come here to work, could you speak Thai?
I could, not well, probably exactly like you. And then the longer I stayed, the better my Thai got.
Can you read Thai now?
I can. Oh, when I first started, I was just learning Thai, like reading and writing.
But you started with Channel V.
No, I actually started since I was around 13, just doing commercials, and then commercials led on to music videos.
Oh my God, music videos! We're back in the day, girl. Old school. I love doing music videos.
Me too. Do you know what? I love it because sometimes my Thai isn't so great, and when you have to remove me actually talking, I'm like, I'm all for it.
No, me too. I'm exactly the same. I'm like, with no stress of dialogue,
Exactly.
And then you don't have to memorize a script. You can just show up and just have fun.
Yes.
Okay. How many music videos do you think you've done in your career?
Oh my goodness. If I actually have to count, I definitely over 10. Over 15? I can't even remember.
What are some of your most favorite music videos that you did? I'm sure they were all favorite, but like if like the most memorable music videos. Don't think too long. We just have like 20 minutes on YouTube.
Memorable. Oh God.
Okay, one that like, do you remember your first music video?
Yes. My first one ever was Ase Wang. I don't
know who that is. Do you
I
guys know who that is?
They are now taking part in all the Y2K concerts that are coming around Thailand.
Okay.
Yes.
And how did you get scouted? How did you?
Just the usual, like walking around in a mall and then someone giving me a card.
And how many years have you been in the entertainment industry now?
Since I remember I got given my card when I was 12 and I spent a year probably doing castings till things actually finally took off. But I would only come back during my summer holidays when I was in Australia. So I lived in Australia all the time until I was like 18 and then I moved back. I told my mom I'd be away for 6 months.
Oh my God, that's
How many years later I'm like, still here.
That's like the famous last words. I remember I said to my parents too, I'm like, I'm just gonna go to Hong Kong for like 2 months and then stayed for like 6 years. And you worked with Sunny, I remember, on a sitcom too.
Yes. I love that was one of my favorite roles. True Love Next Door.
And movies, how many movies?
I've done how many movies? I think around maybe just under 10.
And how would you memorize the scripts? Like, because I had to karaoke my scripts, okay? Which my karaoke, by the way, was so bad. And I would just like phonetically write it out. And it's like, if you couldn't read Thai then, would you phonetically?
Do you know what? Even though I could read Thai, I didn't always. I remember I'd memorize something and then I get to set and I'd memorize it completely wrong.
Yeah, and then you're in trouble.
Because I read
and
it
you're
wrong.
screwed.
Exactly, because you memorize something.
Yeah.
I think the best way for me is to get an understanding of the scene and of what's going on. What would trip me up is if they need a specific word. It's a lot easier if I understand what's going on and they don't mind me changing up a few, not every word, but a few words here and there where I'm like, oh, I'm not really good with that word, or the way I say it sounds a bit off. You know, they try and make it so it's a little bit easier for me. But when I had to say a word because of the meaning behind it, and it's like a brand new word, it's literally memorizing a word. Like, it's so hard.
Oh my god, I used to do like 10 takes, okay, for like mispronunciation.
Right.
And
That's
it just,
normal, babe.
I know. And then if they changed the script on the spot, I'd be like, I'm so stressed. I'm so stressed. Why am I in this job? I need to quit. I want to quit acting now.
It is hard. No, it is hard.
Speaking of that, have you ever had a really bad audition in your life?
Oh yeah, many. Oh, and many auditions. One that I was scarred to this day, I still remember.
I have one too.
And do you know, so many I would actually go home and cry. Or even get in the car and cry. So many.
Yeah.
Do you know, I remember even Channel V in Thailand, it was the worst. I was so...
What happened?
Oh, it was just...
I just want to put it out there, okay, for people to know that there are really bad casting experiences and audition experiences, and it's normal because people don't know that.
And it is normal, and sometimes it's not just you, sometimes it's the people you walk into the room where they're not nice. Like sometimes you walk in and they kind of look at you and they're like, oh, like...
Or they didn't want you to, they probably thought, oh, I don't want you for this part, but someone made me get you in there, and then you just feel, you can feel the energy.
I remember they'll look through your pictures and be like, I don't like that one. They'll say it out loud. And you're sitting there and they're basically telling you you're not good enough or they don't like you. And then they're like, oh, like, thanks.
So what happened what happened to your...
Anyway, basically for that one, my mistake was going in with Jane.
Your friend. Jane, if you're watching.
She is so good. I remember I went in with her because it's like, you know, it's like friend support.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you go first. Big mistake, letting her go first. Because she's so good. Anyway, she gets in there, one take, she's like, she does her magic. And I was sitting there next to her going like, ah, oh, there's your next VJ. She is so good. Like,
oh, they said that?
No, me.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
like, oh, there she, well, I mean, what's the point of me? Like doing this casting because you've got your next VJ. No, because she's so good. And I remember like, okay, when it was my turn, I was like, oh, like you still want me to do it after that epic performance? Like, okay, I can do this. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hi, I'm Paula, and the next song is, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, can I do that again? Anyway. Hi, I'm Paula, and I'm so sorry, like, can I do that again? And then I did it again, and I was like, P, I can't do it. I'm so sorry, like, Jane was so good, and like, I'd already psyched myself out.
But wait, you got the job though.
I went home and cried and cried and cried.
But you got the job.
And yeah, then I got the job.
Okay, so it was like, so it didn't really okay, I guess it traumatized you, but you got the
Do
job.
you know why? Because it's something, I grew up watching Channel V in Australia, so it's just like, oh, dream job, like telling all my friends in Australia, like, oh, like Channel V Thailand, oh, I want this. And then like 2 weeks later, they rang me and we were like, you got it. I was like, like what? Me? What about Jane?
Okay, so the moral of the story is do bring Jane Suda to your auditions. No, because you got the job. All right, so we're gonna talk about the food here. We've got some appetizers. We've got chicken, we've got broccoli with parmesan, and we've got cheesy corn. I don't know about you, but I love Korean food.
Me
and
too.
I come here quite a bit. I also order from them.
Can I dig in?
Dig in, please. Yeah. Dig in, Paula. But yeah, I don't eat chicken, so this is gonna go to you. Okay, so other than acting and stuff, you're also a mother of 3.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I think is the hardest job of all. I think motherhood is by far the most rewarding but also the hardest job of all. And you have 3 kids. First one is Lila. And she a teenager yet?
12. Yes.
12.
Basically a teenager.
And how old were you when you had Lila?
I was 27. Do you know what? When we were growing up, I used to always, when you make a life plan, you're like, oh, I'm going to get married around 25, have babies. It was like following life plan. But actually, when you look at life now, wow, I was so young. I was literally so young. I was only 27.
Do you think you followed your life plan? Like, was it?
It was something you wrote when you were like 15. Like, who knows what your life is like, right? But I now look back and I was like, I was super young.
But then you have 2 other kids.
Yes, I've got Luca, who is now 8. And I have Luella, who is 5.
I do not know how you do 3 kids. So how do you juggle work and motherhood? I mean, and you don't have just 1 kid. You have like 3. Like, I want to know how you do it because I have 1 and I ask myself too sometimes, like, how am I doing this?
Do you know what? I had some people on Instagram recently just asking me like, how do you do it? How do you do the work and the kids? And all I can say is, I don't think you ever do it right. You just do it. And you will, as a mother, I think you always forever feel guilty. And I always find, I say my life is bittersweet. Whenever my work picks up, that means I'm away from my kids more. So it's like, if one side gets better, the other side is like, my baby, you know, vice versa.
Do you have mom guilt when you work?
Oh, absolutely.
And how do you manage that?
I try and remind myself that I'm trying to set an example, especially for my girls and for my children, to see that mummy is working and working is a good thing. So I think it's good for them to see me do my thing, work, have my independence. Honestly, I think it's a good thing. I mean, as much as it's painful then and there, and as much as you may miss them or they miss you, I think it's good for them.
Do they understand what mom does?
Do you know what? Lila, last year, age 11, asked me one day, and was like, Mummy, are you an actress? It took her 11 years.
And you're like, your mom's kind of a big deal, okay?
I think it was because her age, her friends are starting to get into social media, so they must have like seen my account and be like, what does your mom do? Is she an actress? I think she's an actress, Lila.
Why does she have so many followers?
And then she probably came and asked me, like, Mummy, like, are you an actress? Sounds like quite hilarious. Because
what do you
even though
answer?
I don't sit there and be like, I'm an actress, I'm a model, you know, like I'm just like, oh, Mummy's just working. I don't like make it a big deal of what I'm doing. I just want them to see that I'm working.
Do the other 2 understand what you do yet, or are they just like mom is mom?
I think Ella, mom is mom. Because she's been a COVID baby, she hasn't really been around. I haven't really been working since I've had her.
Is she a COVID baby?
As in, she was 2 when COVID hit, so we didn't travel much. You know, like just never got to see me work really. Whereas the other 2, like Lila was with me, she would come to set with me every day, so she kind of absorbed the most. Yeah. Luca would come and see, and I remember once him like seeing on the TV and seeing Mummy and being like, you look so beautiful.
Oh.
I know, seriously, it was so cute.
อันนี้ซูพรีมชักจะเป็นสันคอแบบคัดพิเศษก็อันนี้จะแบบมันแทรก
อันนี้Iชอบมาก This is what I always order this, by the way.
อันนี้เป็นบุโกกิของที่ร้านก็จะเป็นแบบเนื้อแดงเราเลือกตัวที่แบบมีมันแทรกนิดหน่อย แล้วก็ริบมีค่ะเนื้อน่องซี่โครงอันนั้นจะมาริเนตกับซอสมา
Thank you.
แล้วก็มีผักของเครื่องเคียง
Nice. I always take the beef and I always wrap it. That's like my
I'm gonna
thing.
follow suit.
Yeah. All right. Let's go.
ขอบคุณค่ะ
All right, so this is how I do it. I wrap it in this, and then you can put garlic in there if you want.
Okay, which one did you do? This one? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do this one too.
I'm gonna try not to talk with my mouth full. Hold on.
Long minute.
Okay, and what about, because you have 1 son, you've got 1 boy.
Yeah.
How does he handle being around so many sisters? Because I feel like my husband feels like he's like the only man in the house. Because it's like me, Kaya, and then we have the nanny in my house. So it's like all women. And then there's like only my husband. And like sometimes I feel like he's just gonna take a breather.
I will take the girls. Usually I try and get them all in the car to take them to school at the same time. I will sometimes, if I can see he's like about to lose it, I'll be like, you know what, Lucas, stay home, have a breather. I'll drop the girls off and I'll come back and get you. Even if it means he'll be a little bit late for school, but I feel like he needs that little time to decompress and then then I get to spend a tiny bit of time with him as well.
And what's a normal day for you with like 3 kids? Like what time do you wake up? And what happens from the time you wake up till the time you go to sleep? Like what's a normal day?
Like I've literally made it as difficult as possible for myself. I have 3 kids,
And
3
you travel.
and 3
you
different
travel.
schools.
3 different schools?
Yes.
Is there a reason why you do that?
Do you know what? I feel like everyone has their own path, so everyone suits a different type of school. So Lila's school for her was perfect, and then my son went there as well, and I was like, actually, I think he can handle a little bit more. So I put him into a boys' school, and then when I had my little one, I picked the school that I really wanted her to go to. You know, everyone's different. I think
have a
different
friend.
people, different paths.
That puts all his kids in different schools because he doesn't want their kids to get used to each other. They want them to like branch out.
Yeah.
All right, enough about your kids. Like what? It's
So
like
let's talk
all
about
about
me,
kids,
yeah.
right? What do you do to like take care of yourself? Like, do you work out? Like, what are your things? Like, is it or how do you do with like your me time? Is it travel? I know you like to travel.
I love to travel. That is definitely a lot of me time. I'm not someone that is with them all the time. Even if I'm not working, every now and then I'll be like, you guys, I organize play dates for my children all the time. So then I'll be like, Mummy's time for a play date. I'm going to Paris with my girlfriend. See you on Sunday.
And I'm going to drink some water.
You know what? I feel like me time is so important.
It
because
is.
if you as a mother are not at your best,
Your
How
kids
can
are
you-
not going to be at your
how
best.
can you give your kids the best? Like
Yeah.
I think it's so important. So the mothers that never part from their kids or never do their own thing, I feel like you need it. Like you really need it for the sake of your children as well.
And do you work out? Do you watch what you eat? Like, how do you take care of yourself?
I feel like I'm so busy. I remember I used to go to restaurants and be feeding my daughter or son or whichever one I was feeding, and then someone else, like a friend, would be like feeding me. You're feeding your kid, and then someone else is like this.
Eating at restaurants is just never the same anymore when you have kids, so we should appreciate this moment right now, okay, where we can actually eat in peace and have a normal conversation. No, I get it.
Do you know what I love spending? I love spending time with friends. I love nature, so I love putting them together. So I love in London, like taking the kids to school, then like with a girlfriend, be like, let's grab a coffee and go for a walk. That's like one of my favorite things to do.
Speaking of friends, so you have a really good group of friends here in Thailand, some of which I know as well, I'm quite close to. It's like Nana, Jamie, Woodsen, and all that. And you guys have been friends like forever. I think it's really cool that you've found a good group of friends that are also in the entertainment industry. You're in the same industry, but you're not competing with each other. You know? And I think that's really, really difficult to find because you do meet people in the entertainment industry that want to compete. So I think that itself, it's kind of amazing that, since day one, you guys are pretty much day one people. Okay, so we have, this is the last one? Okay.
โบนแมโร่บิบิมบับค่ะ
Yeah.
ที่ใส่โบนแมโร่เข้าไปด้วย
And this is one of their like specialties. And I know this because my husband
เป็น
always
ซิก
orders
เน
it.
เจอร์ของที่นี่แบบคนเห็นเมนูเนี้ยรู้เลยว่าแบบกินกับเกลือ
Yeah, this is like their signature dish. So we gotta dig
How
into
do we
that.
do
Yeah, how do we do it?
เดี๋ยวให้น้องมิกซ์ให้
Ah, okay, so they mix it for you
yum!
too.
That looks good. Okay, I'm gonna finish the friend thing.
Okay.
Okay. I feel like I'm so lucky with my group of girlfriends.
Self-appreciation here for her friends, okay? So
No, I'm so
Nana, Jane, Woodsen, who else is it? Anne, Alicia,
and Jenny, like,
Jenny.
do you know all of them?
Make sure you watch.
I'm just so happy because I feel like exactly what you said, we don't compete with each other.
Yeah.
And there's sometimes there'll be moments when like, guys, I'm not free for this. Do you want this job? Or we bring the jobs to each other like, oh, what about my friend this person or that person? I actually feel like, especially the past few years when I just started coming back, like, I feel like my girls have basically carried me back into the industry. Like I was away from it for so long. And like I actually didn't even know what to do anymore. And like my girlfriends would be like, Paula, you need to do this, or Paula, come with me. Paula, come and do this with me. Paula, come and I just, like at a time when I'm lost in my life anyway. So I was like, I just listen to my friends, or they would take me with them, and I'm just so thankful. Like I'm so thankful for them because I feel like how I am or where I am today, it's like, thank you guys.
And I do feel that friends are always, for me, I always say it's not only about the good times because everyone's capable of having a good time. You know what I mean? It's really about the bad times. When your friends are there and they're wiping up your tears.
Seriously,
and like it's
I
all
used to
about
call, like some of them would get a call from me every day as soon as they wake up, call them, and like I literally maybe would call, like there were times when I would call Winston probably like 4 times a day, and she would pick up every single phone call for like a good month or 2, and I'd be crying every day, and she would literally just talk to me and be like, okay baby, you okay? Yeah, wouldn't be coming on fun. I'm just gonna go to work, and call me later if you need me again. And she would just literally listen to me for like every day, and I'd be like, thank you.
so that's a very important thing.
I'm so thankful for my friends.
All right, so this is the bone marrow bibimbap, which is super famous here.
Okay, ลองดู
My husband loves this.
อร่อย okay.
อร่อยมากเนอะ
อร่อย
And the
อร่อย
beef is super good
Yeah.
too. All right, so lastly, because me and Paula could sit here and talk all day, but just to kind of like close off a little bit, I also kind of wanted to throw out there, you just finished doing a movie?
Yeah.
When does that come out? And what is it
I
called?
think it's called Tartly Genesis, and it's probably coming out in around December, January.
Okay. And you're speaking Thai?
Yes. On my good days. I was speaking Thai, generally.
And you read the whole thing and you did the script in Thai too?
And I had moments where I'm not a scientist, but like, you know, I had to talk about the stars and the moon and the planets aligning.
Were you stressing?
So exactly what you were saying about that, and I was like it was
Take a
quite
deep
stressful.
breath. Except you already got the job then, so you're like, the pressure is on. Okay, and that comes out end of this year. All right, cool. And anything else that you're doing? Well, you got 3 kids, so that's a lot. Okay, well, anyway, so to finish off, I always play a game with my guests.
Ooh.
And I did tell my staff.
We love games.
It's a quiz. So I left it up to my team. I do not know any of the questions. And when I got here, I'm like, do not make us look stupid.
Oh my god.
Do not make us look stupid. But they're gonna ask this question and we have to see the first to answer. Some of them are quite tricky. I don't know what the questions are, but do not make us look stupid, okay? Let me just put my chopsticks now and take a sip of water.
Oh look, it's like game on.
You want to talk about being competitive? Let's go!
We're both
Let's
like,
go!
What will you actually find at the end of every rainbow?
At the end of every rainbow? What will you find at the end of every rainbow? Light. I don't know.
I'm trying to like, have my kids told me this one? Okay, what is at the end of a rainbow? W? What?
W.
Thank you, Luke. I'm trying to think like my kids.
Like how?
This is the stuff my
I mean,
kids.
am I on another planet? Because like, how did you get that?
My
W?
My kids do this to
Is
me.
the end of the rainbow is W.
What's the end of the rainbow? This is where I would
I
have
still
said
don't get it. Am I like stupid or like what's happening?
what?
What is happening?
B-O-W, what? This is like stuff my kids do to me.
Oh
and it
my
all
god!
will be like,
Clearly, someone's gonna win this. Like, all right,
Okay,
that's 1 point
next.
to Paula.
Thank you, children, for preparing me for this
Well,
moment.
when you have 3 kids, you're bound to get these right. Okay, let's go.
Okay,
Next.
I start out tall, but the longer I stand, the shorter I grow. What am I?
Wait, can I understand the question first? What was the question?
The longer I stand tall, but the longer I stand, the shorter I become. Can I tell you? A candle! And it's candle. Isn't it?
Jesus Christ!
You light it and it goes down the longer it stands.
Holy shit, my IQ must be really low. Okay, alright. Oh
No,
my god!
my kids
Did you
are-
email her these questions before we came
On
here?
my phone.
Babe, it's all up here.
Okay, obviously they're gonna make me look stupid and you're gonna look good. Okay.
Okay, next. What has a head, a tail, but does not have a body?
Snake. No.
A coin.
A coin.
Heads and tails. A coin.
What is going on here? Did you get the questions before?
No. No.
You know what? You know what?
You
Maybe
need-
I should be
babe,
drinking.
babe,
Maybe
think-
I should be drinking.
Babe,
because
think like a
clearly-
child. What has the head, what has the tail? Coin, but no
These
body.
questions are hard. Okay, give me a drink.
Give her a drink. Then they'll start coming out. You'll be like, oh, I got this.
Yeah, I would totally get it. I'd be like,
You'll
yeah.
flow.
What belongs to you but get used by everyone else more than you?
What belongs to you but gets used by everyone else more than you?
Oh, I know.
What is it?
Your name.
Oh my god, yeah, that's right. Wait, I'm like, I'm so slow. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing.
she needs a
Paula,
drink, guys.
you cannot come on my show again, okay?
Do you know I love games?
You might as well
I
play
love
this by
games.
yourself. Like, welcome to the Paula show, the Paula's game show. You're pretty good. You're pretty good,
Okay,
actually. You're pretty good.
The question is, what is the color of dreamland?
Blue and white.
Or yellow.
Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, another.
Oh, we're doing real questions now. No more tricky questions, right?
No more.
You keep saying
If
something
you
and I'm
didn't know
waiting.
the answer, Paula, you can just say you didn't know. Okay.
I'm waiting for the trick.
Just say you didn't know. Okay.
Okay, what is the capital city of Germany?
Zurich.
Huh?
No wait. Hold on.
So simple.
I didn't say Berlin.
She
Sorry.
turned around, she
I
was
said
like-
Berlin after a while. I caught myself, okay, and then I said
You did
Berlin.
know, I told you.
No, I caught. All right, that's
Got to do
it,
it.
guys. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much for watching my channel. It was so much fun. I'm really ending the episode right now.
You're like a nap.
All right, but it really is though the end of the EP. But thanks for coming, babe, and I hope you had fun.
ขอบคุณค่ะ
And-
ขอบคุณค่ะคุณออซ่า I had so much fun.
And also, yeah, it was fun just to get away from the kids and sit down and eat
Yeah.
like two girls and just.
Do you know, it
enjoy
just
life.
feels like us doing us under the camera. Hi guys.
Yes. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment below. Thanks for watching, and thanks for helping out. Bye.
Bye.